Oh, voila. Okay, I got the solution. Beautiful people, you're very much welcome to your favorite broadcast. It's been a very hectic moment trying to sort this out, but I'm glad we are here and I could finally use my cam at ease. And I'm so glad to be with you all. Like you all already know it, this is your favorite broadcast and it's your favorite podcast where we have this beautiful conversation with people from different parts of the world. First and foremost, before anything, our deepest apology for the late start of today's edition. There are certain things that we can control, and there are some others that we cannot control. And part of the things that happen today is one of the things that we cannot actually control. So we are glad to have you all, and we are glad to be with you all. Do your best, stay right there, go nowhere because today is going to be very, very amazing. See, like you all already know, you can already see we have our one and only chef that way. Today, we are just jumping to because we're already about some few minutes gone. You see Chef that way in his illuminatized attire. I love the mixture, Chef. I mean, it's just so beautiful. Looking at the concept of Illuminati and then looking at the beauty and the color melange. I mean, this is wonderful. Before we get there, good evening, Chef.
It's the evergreen era, So the branding has to be represented with the green color.
Yeah, hi.
Hello.
Okay. How are you doing and how was your day?
Hello.
Chef, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, superb. How you doing and how was your day?
It's a beautiful day. The day is still continuing. It's a beautiful one. Yeah.
All right,
What
great.
What about you, bro?
My day was awesome. Today was just so wonderful. A very active Sunday, and it was filled with lots of many interesting things. And equally, ladies and gentlemen, it's always that show where we have multiple guests and we bring you amazing surprises every time. We have a wonderful lady amongst us, and I'm sure you all are going to love her. Her name is Mrs. Ye Giselle. Hi, Mrs. Giselle. How you doing? Your microphone is muted. Can you unmute your mic? Your mic is muted. Oh la la. I think she has a little challenge connecting, but a while ago we're connecting together. No. All right. Like we all already know it, it was previously announced that we'll be talking about the topic. We'll be talking about the topic. What you bless you. Like we already said, it, we'll be talking about the topic before you say yes, I do. That's the topic we'll be handling today. And good enough, we have a lady amongst us, and we have Chef Daway, and there are some other ladies that will be joining us. Now, Chef Daway, I want to find out something from you. How will you define the whole concept of marriage?
The whole concept of marriage, I think I'll go by saying is the legal union between a man and a woman, or a man and two or more women. Yeah, the legal come together for the creation with the purpose of creating and establishing a family to ensure the continuation of their kind, their species, that's the humankind.
All right, yeah. Chef,
we have Chunk Clouds da Silva in the building. Welcome, Queen. How are you doing? You see me with my Illuminati.
We got live on the daily, ladies and gentlemen. Chunk Clouds da Silva. We're glad to have you.
Buddy. Hello.
Hi, Mama Sita. Glad to have you. How you doing today?
Hello, Chef.
Yeah, bonjour, bonsoir, Mama Sita. How are
Bonsoir.
you? Okay.
All right, Mama Sita, please, good you're here, and we are glad to have you. Can you define us what marriage is? What is this thing that they call marriage? Every day we have problems. This one is saying marriage is this. Some are saying they're not getting married. Some are leaving their marriage. Some are wanting to get in. While some that are inside are getting out. Somebody said when you are single, you see happy couples. So that's when you are married, you see happy singles. Finally, what are we doing, Mama Sita? Could you help us? What is marriage in your perspective?
To me, marriage is a union between two people, and it's for better was, but it depends on the was. So it should be between when you get married, you become one. So it's a union of people. And what else? Okay,
All
just like
right.
the marriage. Marriage is a union between people, and it's for better and for worse.
All right, Mrs. Giselle, I hope you can hear us now. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you guys.
All right, you're very much welcome. This is the family, and ladies and gentlemen, hope you all are glad to meet our wonderful Mrs. Giselle. That will be having a wonderful time together. How are you, and how was your day?
Very well. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be part of this program. I'm really glad to
Awesome.
be here, and I hope we can both learn one thing or two today from the little I have to share.
Great. I see Mrs. on your name, and it's a clear indication you're a married woman, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, glad.
I'm
So
married.
we're glad to have two married women around, and yeah, I'm sure we'll be having some good, some good insights on this. Do you have another definition of marriage, or you go with what Chef that way and life on the daily said previously?
Well, to me, as a pastor's wife, first of all, and
Yeah.
I would define marriage based on God's perspectives. So
Oh, yeah.
marriage is trusting your liability and freedom to someone else. I'm talking about in both parties. That is
Yeah.
actually what the wedding ring stands for in the first place. And
Mm-hmm.
it is two people coming together, merging up into each other as one. And this thing is not just done, it's not a natural something. Marriage is not natural. That is why God
Yeah.
who ordains marriage, He is the only one who has the ability to make it work. And that is why most people, when they use their ability to try to make it work,
Oh, our network is very. This is Cameroon. Welcome to Cameroon. That's how it's done in
marriage
Cameroon.
after.
All right, right on. I can hear you now.
Yes. So marriage is two people who have chosen to let go of their freedom and entrust it to one.
My God.
Oh, the network is interesting.
Then what
All
came
right.
back?
Live on the day. This is one thing which today we're talking about a topic. Before you say yes, I do.
Yeah.
In recent times, the rate of separation, the rate of wahala, the rate of complaint, the rate of grumbling, and the rate of conjugal jamming. I mean the one is very, very alarming, and it's a clear indication that those who found themselves in this setting or in this situation probably did not actually pay close attention to certain things before they went to the altar. And now we find ourselves in a society where a lot of people actually pay more attention to the day itself than actually creating the bond that is called marriage. Please, Mrs. Giselle, can you help us draw the line that exists between marriage and wedding? What's a wedding and what's marriage? What's the difference between the two? Because most often than not, we usually miss it.
Wow, the network is really poor.
Oh, can you hear me?
I'm
Wow.
really sorry, the network was really poor. I didn't really get the question you're getting.
All right. I was saying, could you cut across the line? You
The
could
network
could you
was
draw the
breaking, so I
line?
didn't really get what you said.
Yeah, I was requesting that you draw the line that exists between wedding and a marriage. What is the difference between the two?
Okay, what I can say is wedding, it's that day where people get together and eat and you're putting on a beautiful dress and they're celebrating you. Two people have gotten together. Now, is what happens after the wedding. A marriage is what happens after the wedding, which many people don't even prepare for. Many people prepare for the wedding, but don't prepare for the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can go further, I would say most people now, the reason why there is so much high divorce rates is because everybody, those who want to get into the marriage, into the actually are preparing for a wedding, not a marriage, because they just want to have see themselves in the white gown walking down an aisle and everybody is looking at them with envy and
And
everything. They forget that after that day, there is a real side. The real marriage begins after that day when everybody has gone.
okay, awesome. Now, before coming to Chef, I want to find out from you rapidly. Could you tell us some of the things that people, like young people, need to consider before going to that stage of talking about marriage?
Sorry.
Could you highlight some of the things that are to be considered, according to you, before going to the stage of marriage?
Okay, great. Well, before you two people agree to get into a home, to get into
Yeah,
marriage, there are
yeah,
basic questions they have to ask each other, basic decisions they have to agree upon before they get into that institution. Because marriage is an institution where you don't read it in a book, you don't get to learn it somewhere. You can only experience it. Everybody has their experiences. Marriage is the only institution where you get a certificate before you get into it. Yeah. So before people get into marriage, what
yeah.
before people get into marriage, what they are supposed to sit first and talk about. We're going to sit together. We're going to agree. Okay, now this is two of us coming together to live under one room. We have two different backgrounds. That is a process of called living to cleave. Now we are leaving our families and friends, and we have decided to come and stay in one house. Now, what are the things that we are supposed to do, the lines we're supposed to draw, the measures we're supposed to take to make sure that this union stands.
Mm-hmm.
Now, first of all, as a Christian marriage, I believe in the two parties having one church where, or if I not say a church where they submit under, because
Wow, her network is interesting. Now, I wanted to finish with her and come to Chef Dawei before getting from our beautiful Mama Sita. Chef Dawei, at this point, I think you can help us with some points that what you think people need to consider before getting into marriage.
Yeah, she already said it all, and tonight I'm mostly here to learn, to listen.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm mostly here to learn from others.
Wow, wow, wow. All right.
So I would just like to, like what she said, wedding is the celebration, and
Yeah,
marriage is the contract. So people should know
yeah,
that.
The
You know,
country.
wedding is a day you just go, you do your celebration. But marriage is a lifelong commitment, a lifelong contract. Um, Something you don't just get into because you want to have a wedding day. You want to
yeah,
please people, you want to spend money. You put 5 million together, you put 10 million together, you have that sophisticated wedding day, and now you get into marriage and you start suffering. So people make una learn. I think
okay.
Mrs. Mrs. Giselle will give us a lot. We have a lot to learn
Miss
from her.
Giselle, are you stable now? If you're stable, I think you can fire on. Your network was trying to make us to pause with you, but if you're stable now, you can just fire on.
Yeah, from our
okay,
end,
sir.
if you
Stable
stop
now.
ask some deep questions.
Um,
All right, all right.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Can I go on?
Yeah, you can write on.
Okay. So like I was saying, before we say I do, there are many questions we have to ask each.
Mm-hmm. Wow, this is wonderful. This is
And
interesting.
Like she has so much to be.
Now, Mama Sita, Mama Sita, are you there?
And right, I'm sorry, I can't turn on my camera because I'm at work. So I'm just gonna be off camera for now.
All right, just listen to your wonderful voice. It's just so okay. I don't know if you all are very okay with that as well. All right, Mama Sita, I think you could help us with this, like some of the key points which we actually need to consider before getting to the point where we say yes, I do.
So,
Yeah, I'm here today to learn from the married people, those who are actually looking at
and
Mama
we too
Sita.
we are still learning. You know, we're already in the game, but we're still learning.
Yeah,
All right,
so
now,
teach
where,
us, tell us everything we need to know before getting into that union.
oh yes, please, those of you coming in, do your best to
So
share,
we
share,
so
share,
we
share,
so we
share.
just stay single and be doing our illegal knocking of candle, or should we
No, it's
get
not.
into it?
Not
Is it
safe. But
advisable to get into it, or should we just stay illegal?
mm-mm.
All right, Mama Sita, help us with some of those key points which we actually need to consider. Big shout out to all of you joining. Please do your best to share, 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 so we have as many people as possible following the broadcast. Mama Sita, over to you.
All right. So some of the things you have to consider before maybe saying I do to your partner is maybe you have to think about the name change. If you take your husband's name, because there are
Yeah.
some people, yeah, they don't talk about it and then they start having
Let's share.
arguments like I don't
What
want
a
to do
share that
that.
again.
Some people will be like no, just or that all those. So it's good to agree if you the lady will take name. And
Yeah.
another one is you have to talk about like when you have like your communication, because that's the like is one of the most important thing that can hold a marriage for a long time. So
Mm-hmm.
talk about it. If I'm mad, what do you want me to do? You want me to by yourself for a minute before I come back to approach you, or like just tell the two of you should sit down and talk about when you get mad what you do and try to compromise and see and see how you can resolve it. So you have to
Yeah.
know how to resolve the conflict in order to maintain your relationship. And another thing is your in-laws, because there are some people they don't want their in-laws. There are some people that want their in-laws. So you always have to agree. Like for the ladies, if you, maybe when you give birth, who will come be stay with me, or after how many months, after how many years before we can let our in-laws come to visit us from both
Mm-hmm.
sides. So
Mm-hmm.
there will be no argument because this person brought their own family and all of that. So always agree when in-laws are supposed to visit, when they how long they are going to stay, where they are going to what they are going to be doing, all those things, and their limits, what they do and what they should not do.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another thing too. I know for men, before you get married, you get for no salary you'll be stay because you not take me to your mother's house. Yeah.
Now, Mama Sita, Mama
Mm-hmm.
Sita, while you're giving these are very beautiful points that are
Yeah.
sweet. But I want us to digress and come back a little bit because it's like I jump one step in the course of this.
Okay.
I want to find out at what point do you know that you are ready for marriage?
It all depends on the individual because there are some people that will meet today and they will get married tomorrow. There are some people that will take years upon because it depends on what a person wants. And because for ladies, I think most ladies are always ready to get married. But it
Mm-hmm.
depends on the man since you're the head of the house and all of that. So nobody to pressurize you in getting married before your time. You have to be ready.
Now, being ready to get married, is it a factor that has to do with age? Is it a
You,
factor that has to do with the
the
number
most
of people you
important
have
one is
dated?
you have to be financially ready to before you get married. You
Mm-hmm.
have the financial part and maybe the mental part. Mentally ready for the marriage, you can't make him work.
No one. no one is ever financially ready
No, there's some
because
that are broke. If you don't, if you don't have money to take care of your wife, how
you
are you
can
gonna?
have 1 billion, you can have 1 billion today, and tomorrow something happens. And in this life, no one is financially ready, even Dangote. What I believe, what I think is, if two people, marriage is that union of two people coming together, agreeing, keeping their individuality aside, and coming together to make life much more easier for themselves. So I think if we are to go by the true definition of it, you don't need to be financially ready
I
because
disagree.
you've come. Let me drop. Then you disagree. Let
Okay,
me let me drop. Let me finish making my point.
Mhm.
So
All right.
why I say so? If you want to be ready, even in marriage, you will still be plagued. You can be plagued with some issues that you are going to put heads together to solve those issues or those hurdles to get over them. So it's the same like you're meeting a woman and now you agree that you want to face life together. And you as that man who is not really viable and now you're taking an extra head. It's all about planning. You know when you can start having kids. You know when you can move from your 1 bedroom to an apartment. You know when like stages. You keep growing with your plans. A lot of young men out there they'll end up not getting married because they want to be ready financially, and as a result of a lot of demands and expectation from women out there. Our women, they've been reduced to material things. So most of them, let me not generalize, let me not just say all every woman out there. Most women, they want you to have like 10 million in your bank account, 5 million, 50 million or more before you even come talking marriage to them. But I believe in the real sense, it should be two or more people coming together. So, like Mrs. Giselle said, you bringing your liabilities, your assets together, and you contributing that towards the betterment of your future, your collective future. So
Mhm.
now let's say you're coming from school and you're struggling. You meet a woman who understands what marriage is, and together you're
Mhm.
struggling from that young age, and you're growing together right up to that point where you've built an empire together. But you
Mhm.
meet another person who thinks he's ready because he's having 50 million in his bank account. Now he goes to get a materialistic woman who is not there to be with him. That woman is just there to eat and squander whatever resources he's been able to put together. At the end of the day, that 50 million will finish within 2 or 3 years, and they'll get back to square one. That square one, when we get back at that point, that woman they run and run. So between these two people, the one who started with nothing and built together with the woman, and they grew together and they live happily ever after, and the one who waited to be ready, to be financially vibrant before getting
Mhm.
married without understanding the partner. Like someone would be in America, then because you don't make a here, just hey, mommy, look me woman from village. They go find any woman. As you can carry me go that side, the girl now remember a boyfriend where they be the struggle together for Cameroon. He
Mhm.
sent her because there's no feelings, there's no attachment, nothing whatsoever. So for me, no one, I will repeat this, no one is ever ready financially. Today you have it, and one natural disaster like that will just happen. That containers and to see will tumble off. So what you need before getting married is that partner who will go through all the stages, all condition, whether it happen or how it get for go, whether that ship is sink, she will go with you. Irrespective of the condition, she will go with you. Okay, I think that's
Mhm.
my point.
something
Now,
comes back.
Mama Sita, yeah, Mama Sita, right on.
See, when I say your financial friend, doesn't You can be ready.
Mama Sita, your network is breaking.
You can't
Yeah,
hear me.
it's seriously breaking.
What?
All right,
Yeah,
this one. Let's see if you come.
I hear
This
that
one says.
more.
Now, those of you coming in, please do your best to share. Let's have a good number of people following so we have a smooth conversation. Share on Facebook, share on WhatsApp, share on IG, share on everywhere you can share. Just keep sharing. This is Emilia Tomri. Big shout out to you. She says, both the men and women need to make sure that they are in it for life. That's one thing. He says, you are right, sir. She's confirmed to what Chef Dawe had to say. I want to say a big shout out to everybody that's been watching. Mako Masa, Brianna there, Living News Yacha Breezy. We have our natural queens here, Fatem Miranda, and everybody. I can't call all of your names. Now, Mama Sita, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you guys very well. I don't know.
All right, please fire on. You are trying to make a very interesting point here.
Okay, so what I was saying is when I say your financial, you have to be financial. It doesn't mean you have billions in your account. Before taking somebody's daughter to go as your wife, you have to make sure you have enough money for you guys, for just the two of you, to manage until you get to where you want to be. So you cannot just sit and say, okay, I'm ready for marriage. You don't even know where you live. You don't even know how you pay the bills, and then you want to bring somebody's daughter out. No.
So somebody said.
But I think it's a two-way something.
All right, please just give us a clearer view on that. How is it two-way?
I think both the man and the woman have to be financially prepared.
All right, how are we? Because
I think both the man and the woman have to be financially prepared.
Yeah, we say both the man and the woman have to be financially prepared. It's intriguing because most of the time we just know that if you look at let me talk about Cameroonian ladies for sure. Those are the ones we are familiar with. They will sit and they will sit them. They just believe that a gentleman will come out of the blues and just come and get married to her and begin to give her money and begin to spoil her life and take her to a new house.
And that is why most of the marriages are failing because
you see,
exactly.
That is why there is so much divorce rates. That's why there is so much divorce rates because this
is the gospel
for everything and cause the man to go through a lot of stress and at the end he's fed up. It's supposed to be a two-way something. Man, if you're taking care of this, let me take care of this. We're going to work together. This is our home we are building together.
Exactly.
Yes, it's true. The man has certain role that only he can play in the aspect of being the bride. The man must be able to be the one to pay the bride price.
Bride price, yeah.
Yes, there's certain aspect that the man. That is something that only the man can do. When it comes to bride price, only him can do. The woman does not have to play any role in that, but she can support in the aspect of the wedding, maybe taking care of one thing or the other. But it comes to bride price, that is strictly his role. And when it comes to where we are going to live, where we are going to, one room or this thing, we can come together and agree on that. We both can come in with our income. It's not one person something. Now, you see that the man is not maybe capable to really get ready. Yes, sir.
I want to find out how do women prepare financially for marriage?
Exactly. Now, when my sister here said that every woman is ready is a man who has who need to be ready, and I want to disagree with that. Many women think they are ready for marriage, but the majority have not even scratched an inch of being ready for marriage because everybody they don't even know first of all what is marriage in the first place. They think marriage is just the way you go and you just think because I've reached 18 years and now I'm done with my school. It means that I'm ready for marriage.
Okay. At what point do we know that? Do we know that?
Because I believe maturity is not age. There are women who are 30 years old and they're not matured. They still behave as babies.
Now, how do we know that the woman is ready for marriage? That's what I'm trying to ask. Like, how do we know? How is a woman? Okay, let's start with the women before coming to the men. How do we know?
See, I think the woman is always ready. Because the thing is, that's to me. Because if I don't,
a woman. Instead, the woman are the highest people who are never ready for marriage. To be sincere, women are the highest people who are not even ready, but they think they are ready.
Maybe that's
because
why. That's the
every
point.
woman believes that a man is is supposed to be that is a problem. Many women think they are ready, but many women are not ready for
At
marriage
the end,
because
the
they think
age
that
which
marriage is you
you think you
going
are
to
very
somewhere
ready.
and a man is just there to do everything for you, and then now you
For
just sit.
sure.
Because women think that because I'm an 18 years old and above, and maybe I'm done with school, now I can get married. It's not about whether you have finished school or not. The people who are even done with school, the people who are even working in big offices and they have big titles, they are not even still ready for marriage. Marriage is you as a woman. It's about devotion. Are you ready to let go of your freedom for and submit under a man?
Well,
It's something that is easy to say, but not easy to do. You must be
Yeah.
ready.
Oh, yeah.
You are going to just give yourself. Now, there is an aspect of submission. It's not that I give myself the man to do as one. No, but you must be ready to live under his authority, seeing
Mm-hmm.
him as your head.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you say living under his authority, it
Not
means your
ready for
opinion
that.
does not really
Many
count
women.
in a similar, in a similar way like the man. Is that it? Mrs. Are you there?
Sorry.
All right. If you say the whole this concept of submission, because I came to understand
Yes,
that
I'm
this is one of
listening.
the big problems we have in
Okay,
marriage.
my concept of submission, right, is
bye. And then,
no. Can you get me?
I can get you 5 on 5.
Hello.
yeah, we
I
can
can
hear you.
get you
Right
five
now.
on 5.
Now, submission is not a woman going to dash herself to a man. No. The Bible
Mm-hmm.
says we submit one to another. But the woman has to know that the man remains the head. But guess what? Many women don't know that. Many women think that because if I submit my under a man and I see him as my Lord and I learn to honor him and give him that, he's going to do as he wants to do with me. If I show this man that I am very humble and everything, he will mash me. He will mash my head. No, it's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
The neck, and it's the neck which controls the head. But if only you can play your cards well. Many women, the reason why they face issues in their marriages is because they don't want to submit under the man's authority. See, men are men and will always be men. Men love.
Single
Mm-hmm. Oh la la. Preach on, preach on, preach on, preach on. Let me take a few comments. This was a sharing in groups. Yeah. Those of you coming in, just keep sharing, 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 sharing. Yeah.
people.
We have Mama Sita. Correct, Mama Sita. We have Tabi for King. He says, I judge a woman's readiness by her capacity to handle situations. He comes
Is
further to say,
because they
also,
women.
if she has a majority to let go of her self gratification to handle the challenge of the home, the happiness, sad, okay, the happiness, sad, her man, okay, the happiness of a man and her kids. Let me put it that way. Now, this is very, very technical because if we look at it from the days of the Garden of Eden, the first time, I mean, if we have to go by biblical principles, I know there are some people that are not Christians here. Now, if we have to go by biblical principles, you know that the first man and woman that existed that reproduced children that were in a union, as per se, is Adam and Eve. Now, from the first woman, that is Eve, you will notice that women are always the target because God saw that man was not one man to be alone, so he sent a woman to come and be what? A helper. Today, it is almost the contrary because we have a lot of torment, and if you listen to men speak, you will hear a lot of complaints. This is one point of view. He said, I judge a woman's readiness by her capacity to handle. Now, I want to find out something.
Handle situations. No,
Mama
yeah,
Sita, are you there?
right here.
Mama Sita, what is the role of a woman in a marriage? In fact, before we're gonna, how, in fact, let me start from the foundation. I don't want to jump and get into marriage because we are seeing the preparation phase. What do you think a woman ought to know? A woman ought to normalize? A woman ought to consider before she even think of getting married?
Yeah. That our nagging habit, we have to stop it because in a marriage, men don't go for that nagging stuff. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to consider your way. Talk to talk to maybe your friends, your man before you get married. So see, when you get into it, a different ball game. So there are
Yeah.
so many that yeah, you have to consider your attitude, and then you have to know that if you say don't, because there's some men that men if they get jealous, they'll be like, if they see that you're talking to somebody maybe to the opposite gender,
Gender. Mm-hmm.
yes, they get jealous for nothing. So be ready
Mm-hmm.
to be like, if they say, okay, I don't want you to talk to that man, you get for yell, stop talking to that man because he might think something else. So just be ready to listen, be,
Mm-hmm.
re- be ready to respect, and be careful what you tell your friends about your home, because nowadays they can use to destroy your own home. So learn to fix things with your mind and stop talking to friends about your stuff. So before getting into your matrimonial, how they call them, into marriage, consider all those things. Let's solve your problem with your man alone. It's not like therapy or one family that you talk.
All right,
Because
because I had someone. She was supposed to be part of this live today. Now she said, "Let me." I'm just going to read her comment. She was like,
Why is she
for
not on the live? Let her come right. Let her come right. Meet
for
the
the other,
she's been trying to connect. I'm talking about actually. So she's been trying to connect, but the network.
for Tabira, for Tabira.
All right. She says, for ladies, investigate their culture, how widowhood rights, investigate your future in-laws. Who are you marrying? The sole breadwinner of an entire clan, the firstborn. Check his parents and how they treat each other. Now, this is what women need to consider. You see, from her perspective, because if we have to, we cannot we can get many things from Western worlds, and we can get many things from the Western culture. But the truth is, we have our African culture, that there is an Africanity in most people that have this skin color, this melanin. There's a degree of Africanness. The worst is for the male from the male. I'm an African man. When you hear I'm an African man, it already begins to depict a particular kind of characteristics you should expect. Now, I came to understand that because I spoke with some people and they were like, nobody that at school they go the visit of our sense. Nobody that about liberty, they just say the future do anyhow. Nobody don't teach them, maybe over know their right. Who did marry that kind of thing them? You understand? So so you notice that a lot of men are not really comfortable getting married to women that are too enlightened, and women that are too liberal, and women that have too much of opinion, because they feel like they will be sharing their authority and they will be challenging one another. You
No, no,
understand?
a man who is afraid of a strong opinionated woman, I think that's a weak man. I need my woman to be able to have her own opinion. But
All right.
having her own opinion,
yeah, but
she has
you can't be
yeah,
yes, yes.
she has to be right sometimes if her opinions are right.
Mhm.
And most times I'll roll her if I think her opinions are not really.
But chef, do you know that it is very difficult to work hand in hand with a woman that has a lot of opinions, because
Yes,
sometimes
we
it
can
might
have
conflict
that
with yours.
lengthy.
Can you hear me? Because see, sometimes when the woman has a lot of opinion, it might conflict with yours, and it might bounce back to disrespect or creating unnecessary conflicts.
Those are the
If
feminist stuff.
somebody use an example that, take for example, I want to use this example, but I'm afraid it might attract some people. So I would say, take for example a lot of successful women that we know. How many of them are married? A lot of these successful women are hardly married. Not because the men are afraid of them, but because of the disrespect that comes with the success of a woman. There are two categories of women that I came to understand, me talking with people, that a lot of men that are single don't want to get married to. First, the woman with an advanced age that is living her life, because she has already built her certain system of how life should work. For her to stop that system to submit to a man is sometimes very difficult. The next is a woman who has financial freedom. That kind of woman, to control her is it's you need to actually apply a lot of wisdom, and which might even leave you on the way. You understand? Now, a lot of the time, when a man has money, he feels he needs a woman. When a woman has money, she feels she does not need a man. Mama Sita, how true is that?
Yeah, to an extent it's true. Yeah, because I've seen like something happened to one man who was doing okay. This is an example, like a real lifetime story. So the man
Yeah,
was doing very well, but something happened. Like the man was doing well, then he set up like a big business for the woman. So
yeah,
something, the man's own business collapsed. The man became a house help in the house. Like the lady would dictate on what to tell the man what he is supposed to do for that day. He has to cook, do laundry, take the kids to school. Yeah, I understand because when some women they have money, they think, oh, they don't need a man, just as you said. But
yeah,
but there's some they're still humble when they have one. But I would say maybe 80% would think they don't need a man. Just as you see now, most celebrities are not even married because they think they have money and they don't need a man. And if they get married, you see they're already out of it.
yeah, yeah. Now, so this is where it becomes a problem because sometimes I listened to one man that was talking on a popular TV station. He said the problem we have in marriages today is because the person that is supposed to be talking is the person that is supposed to be sitting quiet is talking, and they expect the person that is supposed to be talking to sit quiet. Now, in when it comes to conjugal man and woman being together, Chef, I know Chef Dawei has a good understanding of many African things. I want to find out, Chef, do you think that there's somebody that's supposed to sit quiet and somebody that's supposed to talk in the marriage? Oh, it looks like Chef is not there. Mama Sita, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Wait, everybody's supposed to talk. Just that
Well,
know your
well,
limit.
everybody is supposed to talk. Yeah,
One person had to sit
exactly.
quiet.
I know when to say what.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, we can hear you, Chef. We can hear you.
If
Oh,
one person had to sit quiet, that person was supposed to come without a mouth. I think yes. If everyone is coming with a mouth, it means they have a
yes.
voice. But now is how to use your voice. It's the same thing with everything we do. How you use your voice. That's why man picking in voice get that bass line heavy. Then the woman in voice it be a little bit lighter and soft. You
So
Best
understand?
part.
yeah, woman don't
When a
carry
Um,
woman
face to the man
when
like
a
that.
woman when a woman truly know like when she knows how to use her voice, she'll be able to
mhm,
cut. She'll be able to convince Adam to eat
mhm.
that forbidden fruit without forcing him. She'll be
Yeah,
able to cut Samson's dreadlock without forcing him. She will just use her weakness because actually a woman's weakness is actually her strength.
yeah,
I'll give
softness.
I'll give example. She'll
Mhm.
just use very soft words and she'll just penetrate your heart and go her way. But the moment she starts like, look at this useless man, look at this dirty man, you what can you do? At the end of the day, that's when she'll receive a slap. You
Mhm.
understand? When she wants to prove I am tough, I'm strong as you. Just use your voice. Use that voice. Look at you hear the sound of my
What men
own
don't
voice.
listen to
How
that
it
voice for? You don't
you
even
hear
know.
my own voice. Mama sister, the one
Sir, let me
talking.
not
Yeah,
let me not cut you short, Chief.
yeah,
Chief, let me not cut you short. Women are emotional beings. I don't agree with
yeah.
a woman insulting a man, but women believe that the only way they can communicate their emotions is when they speak loud, which is I am not also in support of it, but there's something that is why before you get married, you first of all have to study who a woman is. Women weaker
Mhm.
vessel, and the only way they can make you understand what they are going through is to inflict pain on you so you can feel what they are feeling. Not necessarily that they want to intentionally hurt you, but they want to make you understand that, bro, what you're doing is hurting me. I don't know how to say it. But now, there are instances when a woman is supposed to be talking. I can say women should mostly do the most of the listening part. There's a time you can talk to a man. I would tell many ladies, there's a time you can give your opinion to a man. Because women, let me tell you something, women have a high rate of discernment. When the wife is a good wife, she has a right way of, she has a high way of having instincts when to do something. I mean, we want to travel, and she said, you know what? I feel like you should not travel. Listen to her, because women are gifted in that they have an instinct that is very strong. When a woman is a woman that you guys understand each other, and she speaks to you that I think that this person that you have met, I think this person is not a good person. Listen to her. Yes. Because and then women want to really they have a lot of ideas to give, but sometimes they don't know how to give it.
How to present
So
it.
women who are listening to me should know that a man loves respect and loves honor. If you think
Mm-hmm.
that maybe they have used a method to give to tell him something and it does not work, change the method. Maybe when he goes to work, or if you are still in courtship, come to his house, clean the house, cook his favorite food, give him the best treatment. When he's in that good mood, I say, well, you see that concerning that thing that day now, I know that everything that you said it is really correct. But I was hoping that this other way like this should go like this. Yeah, most women don't want to do that. Most women want to talk with that time that they know that this thing so it get for B, now so it get for B. No, why? You may have a good idea, but you don't know how to communicate it.
So
That's
which
not how
means
men are. Men are not like us women. We women we want to just be talking. Men don't do many things at once. Men do one thing at a time. We women can do many things at the same time. So men don't like noise. Men don't like that too much noise. Yes, men don't like that noise. So that is why I say many women have a lot of good things to say, but it's how to say it that they don't know. So
that's
I I I
exactly
I,
what I was
I
saying.
I think that women should learn to use methods, different methods to communicate with your husband. Now, men on the other hand, allow
Yeah.
your women express themselves to you. Be their friend. Don't make them to have other friends outside. My friend, my friend. I believe that before you get married, this aspect of I have my best friend thing should end. Because your husband automatically becomes your best friend. Because this aspect of my friend up and down, is also a problem in the home because you will go and share your things to your best friend and whatever. And your best friend will give your best friend not a good person, will give you advice and put things in your head. Before you know it, you don't even know how man is entering into your home, and before you know it, your home
No,
is scattered. So
Mrs. Z,
before you get married, agree. If you're having so many friends or you have a best friend, you're going to limit. Yes, you have to limit it. You have to keep it aside.
now
People communicate
I want
now.
to find
Tell
out.
me about yourself. What are the things you like? What are the things you share each other? What are your weaknesses? Because my sister was talking about some women are very nagging. There's some people that's their weakness. Eh? There's some women that's a weakness to them. They nag. They don't know. Sometimes they don't even know why they nag. They just want to just nag. Yes. So you have to
Now,
understand everybody's weeknesses and then see if you can.
hold on,
Don't
now
knock your home, don't knock
the,
your home place.
the network has kept her on mute. I wanted to find out something in a marriage or relationship and whatever. Can is it actually proper? Is it actually proper to take advice from anybody that is not in that marriage? Maybe anybody. Does it make any sense to take advice? Like you're having situation and you go and confide in someone. It could be a friend, neighbor, elder sister, like that. Does it make any
That is a
sense to,
very wrong thing to do.
and
It's the
why?
beginning of a failed home. That particular attitude.
Yeah. Now, recently we're talking about women empowerment, and what I'm really looking at before we are definitely going to come and talk to the men, because good we have two married women here that can easily dish us some sweet secrets, so that we should actually see how to make this thing a beautiful and sweet one. What are the things that you feel like a woman is supposed to do, or what I think is you feel like she's supposed to consider before actually getting into marriage? These are things which, if we don't do them, if we are not conscious, if we don't consciously do them and do them intentionally, it's going to lead to a lot of problems. In today's society, we have a lot of crisis in marriage. It is. You see, they don't go out on public like that, but the degree of violence that exists, you will sit in your house after around midnight. You hear boom, 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 boom. People are. It looks like Baghdad and Afghanistan. The children cannot grow in a healthy environment. Papa tape mama. This one did not. You understand? So all of these, I want to understand. It has to do with something with expectation. And when you have people coming with expectations that are not communicated or that are not met, there is disappointment. Disappointment at a certain level, it becomes violent. So, what do you think on a generic or on a general point of view? that let's start with the women. That women need to consider before actually thinking before actually getting to the step of getting married to somebody. Mrs. Giselle, are you there? Oh, it looks like her network is quite interesting. Mama Sita, are you there? Mama Sita has vamoose. Chef Daway, are you there?
Yeah.
I'm here. Oh, is it me they're talking about?
Yeah, I was asking that what are the things you're a married woman now? What are the things
Okay,
you
can you
wish,
can you get me?
wish I can get you? What are the things you advise every young girl to take into consideration before getting married? And what are some of those things that you wish you knew before you got married?
Okay, what I can say is what women should consider before you enter a home is that first of all, check that man's background. Where is he coming from? In his lineage, does he have a lineage of mad people, violent people? Because you, let me, it is traceable. A man don't just get to start beating woman like that. That means he learned it from somewhere. He took it from somewhere. And if that's the case, during your courtship, you must have exercised that aspect one way or the other. Now you ask yourself that this kind of man that is beating me in courtship, do you think that when you get married, you're not going to continue? It's not going to continue. So you have to ask yourself that will I be able to stay with a man who hits me? You must first of all check in his background. Does he have people? How is the family like? Check the
Mm-hmm.
man's family because he only portrayed that which he has learned. So based on his family, where he's coming from, will determine the kind of person that you're getting married. So that is why I said marriage is a spiritual exercise because that the Lord can help handle in the case of Christianity, even under the Muslim religion. You have to get to know the background of the person that you're getting married to. That's the first thing. Yes. Where is it coming from?
Mm-hmm.
At the lifestyle of the people who has lived in his family. Don't go and marry a man because you just say love, love, love. When in him are traces of madness, traces of brutality, and you get into your home and the least thing you do, the man beats you and kills you. No. Secondly, you ask yourself that this man's weaknesses, can I be able to handle them? Because some men are like that. Their weakness is that maybe they like mimbo, they like
Wow, the network is quite interesting.
Are you
Mama
watching?
Sita,
I went to
are
show
you
my
there?
the time I walk here, I went to show my face. Now I've been standing out here for quite some time.
I
So
bet show us your face, so let's see your fine face. Big shout out to Emilia Tomri, big shout out to Fule Esther, big shout out to yeah, I said that. Oh,
let me say one thing here. Let me just say one thing
yeah,
before I push back inside before you continue. Sorry. See,
yeah,
there's one thing I never thought about, and so
yeah,
many people think is important, but it's very important. Is you knowing
yeah,
your gender. I did not know it. We did not test. We did not. I did not even know my genotype. I only knew after I've gotten married until I've had 2 kids.
yeah,
So you have to know to know because if you get married to someone with this thing, if you have this thing sickle cell, you
mm-hmm.
the kids will suffer, and you too the kids are suffering. You will not you will suffer with them.
Now this is one very important part
that's
that
also a
one very
very
important point
important
you're
thing
making.
too. Yeah, very important.
Because sometimes we get carried with the fact that, oh, I love you, he loved me, I love you, and all of that. And we don't actually take into consideration some key aspects like the genotype, which is a very vital part of family. You see, today we have children that are living in with sickle cell. They are we call them survivors. You see, but it's a very challenging health situation. Now, knowing your genotype is one of it. Please tell us more. Tell us more of it so we can take into serious consideration before repeating the mistakes of old.
I beg, just as Mama Pastor said, please, I beg, check know the background before you go get married to your brother or sister.
All right.
Let
Okay.
Yeah, because like I'm giving example because someone like me, I'm from a royal family. So if I don't really do my investigation, I can go and get married to my brother.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, I did not even do that. I did not even do the investigation. See,
He just got married, and it happened that you were fortunate enough that it did not
yes,
happen that the father of the boys is.
because when I see what some people are going through because of thing, see, it paid my heart. Yes, so just know, do your background check. Make sure because there's another person. Not that not everybody love. No, I'm not. I don't know how. Not everybody love people they call us say mukala. Because there's one girl who gave birth. She did not do her investigation before getting married to the man. The man is quite black, but when she gave birth to this thing, I know I call her where I don't know how to put them, but the girl did not that child.
Mhm.
The girl refused to touch the child. So if you know
This
that
is why
some
I
Wait,
said
which
check the
type of
background of
child
the man before you marry. Yeah.
is a child that having deformation like that always child?
huh?
What type of child are you talking about? The children with deformations?
No, like this. I saw this thing. One girl was no. I think it's not that, but so many people don't want a child like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, yeah. Because I'm just saying it because some one girl gave birth to a child like that and refused to touch that child. She said she was gonna give out the child for adoption.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is,
No, that's terrible.
yeah, the husband side they have people like that.
Okay. So it
Yeah,
was
so
a gene thing. It was something that had to do with the gene.
yeah, yeah, it's connected to the gene. You have when you're checking, you check all those things. And
No, Mama said I think those are the things that you check when you're already having a bond. You see, because you might check all of those things, but what actually keeps a marriage is not those things. You see now. So I'm looking at what we consider at the level. Those things are very important. Please, they are very very important, especially knowing your genotype, checking the lineage of the man with the kind of like all of those. They are very important. But now looking at the two people in question.
wait, I have to
Ah,
get wait, I have to
all
get
right, all right. Oh, Mama said, okay, she was excusing herself. Now, well, if I understand very well, the things we need to seriously take into consideration. There's anything we need to seriously take into consideration because marriage is between two people, and for these two people to work out, they need to agree. They need to understand themselves. Oh, she said, look at them. Okay, good. They need to understand themselves and they need to have a good roadmap. But we live in a society where it is more of expectations. It is more of expectations. I have my spec. There's this thing they call spec. This is my spec. This is my spec. But dating back as far back as our forefathers, it was much more easy because now I'm going to tell a story here. A friend of mine, the mother told us how to marry. You see, the mom, the mom and the dad. When the dad left village, he came to the town, Boya. And that was the city. When you leave the villages there, you come to the city and then you come to make your life. You're coming as a young man, probably in your 18 or early 20s, like that. Not now that of us have to cross that floor and get inside again before thinking of, you see, it's cool. First of all, let's keep that one side. So he left and came to actually make his life. So he came, he struggled, had some small money, rented a room, got his stove, put his mattress there, piano on the floor. Now life don't start. He went back to the village. He went and told his parents that, all right, now he is becoming a man. And in those days, it was sweeter. And he feels like he needs a woman. The mother was like, wait, we will look for you a good woman. He says he has seen a lady that he feels like is a good woman. The parents went and investigated the background of that lady without the lady even knowing. They went and investigated, and they came back and said the girl is from a good family. She is a good girl. That's my friend's mother that is telling us it. Now, when they got married, they did getting married. They just told her that this is your husband. And the man took from a good home. He took his wife. They did what they had to do. They took the lady in the night. That means when they are going with the wife, that's a newlywed wife, they'll put you in a car. If you have to leave from a distance, let me say from Mutengene, let me use Southwest, those who are based to Southwest, Mutengene to Mile 17. They will take the woman and block the windscreen. She will not see anywhere. They will first of all go to Douala, turn up to Chico, come and pass and go to Kumba, come back again, go to Boyatown, then come back and come and turn to Mutengene. So she will feel like it's a long distance. Why do they do that? So that she shouldn't know the road to come back to the house. Now, as to whether that was good or bad, it left to them. But this person telling us was somebody which this practice was done on her. Until date, she's married to that papa. They are old, they are retired, and they have big, big children. You see? And they are still living, the two of them. That was how her own story was. First, one thing I noticed was that this thing of spec was not there. There was no spec. The next thing is they were having integrities based on the family's moral virtues, which means a good girl was judged based on how the family looked like. The next thing I noticed is that the men too were trying to be responsible. Because when a man gets to that certain stage where he feels like he starts dating a woman, in that epoch, it was just normal for him to actually just go and tell the parents that it has come to a time where I need a woman. Fast forward 2024, before a small boy wants to get to university, 18 years old, already fry all things. They start frying from secondary school even. Fry. The girls are fried until even they themselves they become confused. To the extent that you are getting married today, but you're missing one ex that left you and went to the USA. You are trying to build a relationship today, and then you see it becomes a very confusing exercise. I think these are part of the things that we should be able to highlight so that we avoid some little confusion, because the degree of disturbance and separation that is caused by external factors and past experience is quite alarming in a home. You get? Now, these are some of the things that I came to understand looking at the context of back and the present day life. You know that a lot of things, a lot of African values and virtues have been tampered with, have been compromised. And in that line, we lose the values and virtues of marriage. All right, we came and said, okay, our fathers never knew anything, but they stayed in their own marriages. We that knew everything, we have walked and toyed around and finally are coming back to take them as a reference. Why? Because the things we think we knew are not actually working, and they are actually making our own to fail. You see, a lot of people, when you see people getting married today, those mama that will come, marrying at their heart, marrying at endurance. But it's like, it just look, at one point, it just look, let's say, they don't go do that until they just sorry you again. You understand? You don't know whether you are actually doing the right thing, or they just sympathize with you for the kind of thing you do and so. Because all of this is happening in a line where you definitely know that everybody has become that liberal that any man will go talk to before was not like that. I never saw that. It was very rare to actually see a woman back then raising the voice at the husband, but today it's normal. Let me. You understand? So a lot of those virtues have been tampered with. Now we are looking at the topic of before we say I do. I think one of the things that cause separation between a man and a woman, after considering your family background, the gene, your health situation, and all of that, you finally have to come and deal with the both of you. That has to do with character. That has to do with moral values. That has to do with virtues. That has to do with what you possess as a person. And I think that is what makes you as a person. We cannot live constantly compromising basic things that are supposed to make us valuable, yet we expect to have value. Case study: a woman cannot sit and be sleeping around with every man and expect the man that she calls her husband to respect her. I think some of these things, the preparatory phase should be taken into serious consideration, and some certain things should be seriously highlighted so that we don't actually end up repeating the mistakes of old. Because if you look from 2000 up to today, the rate of conjugal disturbance, I don't know to use the word, conjugal disturbance is gradually increasing, either caused by an argument in the home, because this person has gone outside, because this one, and all of that has to do with the two people involved. So what may I think, before getting into even going to sign anything, what I strongly believe is you should actually look at the person and appreciate that this person has a moral, has a character, has a person of the kind of person that I want to spend my life with. Because if na palava fine face, it will fade out, and you'll carry fine face people you know it out them. If na palava buttocks, yash, you go see carry so, but the character is what really counts. Many years ago, when we were young, we used to have a parent like, they say, fine woman and fashion, fine woman and fashion. Well, I don't listen. Emily Manatin, when you see fashion for us, we like when you see the fine girl. So, but after turning around, we'll come back again to say that fine woman and fashion. Because when you pass through one interesting fine mamuata, it give you 1, 2 naughty fashion. You say, "Mami, you carry a fine go. There find this or no chop 'em." You pass through another one, it give you 1, 2. You say no, you know go. You see, at the end of the day, to me, I think we should take into serious consideration character, values, and virtues. Man wey go lie you before you want married to you, you go know say the lie. Man wey go come kill it because there's something that a lot of women do. Something 50,000, they got to say 80,000. Before a married man, we get that kind of character. You already know. You see, man wey go wake up Sunday, give you a backhand. Before you're married to you already know. And the gospel truth is, we always see those red flags, but we actually usually ignore them. So a lot of these things are things that are to be corrected, even though I understand typically that there is no perfect human being. Sincerely, I understand there's no perfect human being. I mean, understand this thing is me talking with a lot of people and trying to understand why there is this too much conflict between two people. There's too much conflict between two people. You see? So all of this boils back to us as people, your personality. You get? So that is what I think. Now I want to throw one question again to Giselle. Giselle, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
If in case of financial crisis, right? Can you hear me? Oh.
Hello,
Oh,
can you get me?
that is quite interesting. Now, in a home where there is financial crisis and having a very beautiful woman, do you think it's a good or a bad thing for the woman to compromise only during that period though, to help her husband?
Yes, I'm getting you.
Now, your husband is not working, and there is this big man that has this big
I'm getting
opportunity
you.
for the job to give your husband. And the man be like, no,
I'm
me and you
getting
need
you. I'm
to
getting you, sir.
me and you need to arrange one night first before you just bring your husband's CV. You are the one to bring your husband's CV. And then he fries the thing and give the man a job. In your opinion, is that you helping your husband, or is something that you should have better die for the poverty?
Please, can you give the question again? I didn't get it well.
Now, given the fact that you are having financial crisis in your home, and there
Mm-hmm.
is somebody that has an opportunity to give your husband a job, but the only condition is for you to lay down with a man only one time, only that one time. After all, he's not going to cut it. He will not cut the thing and he will not cut it and go. But he
Mm-hmm.
wants you to just lay only one time, bring your husband CV and lay only one time. Is it something worth considering just for that one time to save your family from that hardship? Or is something that you prefer you be advisable to let go and then when I suffer on a so?
That's not even a question. That's not even a question that needs any other answer than no. It's a very big no. Why? See, there are times for everything. There is a time a man gets to struggle. There is a time he makes it. There is a time he stands. So in those challenging times, if your husband doesn't have a job, you go get a job. If your husband is not going, you get involved. If on your own part things are a bit lighter, help him for that moment. A time will come, he's going to get a job. Nobody stays like that forever. Because don't just say that he's not having a job and we are suffering. Listen, out of experience, when I got married to my husband, the early years were difficult. I had to do a lot of things. I had to sell. I had to go and sell in the market. I had to do my thing. Though he didn't really like it, but I had to do it because things were not easy. Yes, but I had to support him because I can help seeing him go through a lot of stress when we are in this together. And today is not the case anymore. So there's a time, there is a phase in life. That's what we call a phase. A phase. At that phase now, that time, the man is down. You, the woman, have to take responsibility and say, "Ma, I
Mm-hmm.
cannot leave my husband down like this." Get yourself involved in businesses. If you can get a job, good. Sustain the family for that moment. Time will come when he takes over and you guys can work together. Why you should go and step yourself so low, so cheap as to
But
stay with the man to give your husband a job?
it's just one time now. It's just one time. It's
Even
just only one
the truth
time
that
now.
even just by having a thought of it, first of all, is first of all a very big crime. Just a thought of it. Talk less of it being a one time. It's not even an option. In fact, when a man walk up to you and tell you that if I'm a young lady listening to me or married women, the man walk up to you and tell you that I'll give your husband a job, do this, do me a favor, give him a slap and walk away. Because it's not worth it.
All right.
It's
Now,
not worth
chef,
it.
let me find out something. I understand when it comes to two people living together, there's a lot of toleration and a lot of forgiveness that is needed. Mm. It's good where the way Mrs. Giselle answered the question is very good, and that is the same way we are answering. But a lot of people that watch that will come and watch the video, a lot of them will not. A lot of them have done this thing, and a lot of them are still doing it. You understand? A lot. And these are the part of the issues that we actually kick against on platforms like this. I understand that, all right, when it comes to two people being together, there is actually a lot of tolerance and forgiveness to be done. Chef, in the process of cutting, no, chef goes
Gotcha.
direct. Chef does not date. Chef is clearly polygamous. That is clear. Now, in the process of that, that's already established. In the process of trying to get a woman and you discover trace of infidelity, are you going to proceed with the marriage or you will forgive her? Are you going to forgive her and pursue the marriage, or you feel like this part like this for the level better live up?
It depends. It depends. If we are still like cutting and still
Mm-hmm.
getting to know ourselves, and
Mm-hmm.
we show sign of infidelity, what? Yeah, there's a possibility because my energy has not been mixed. There's a possibility if you do your cleansing that I'll eventually get to forgive you. That forgiveness, that forgiveness is conditional. It's
Mm-hmm.
based. It depends on you doing your cleansing. You go through your process of you stay for a while without sex, and I get to realize your energy is clean, right? But in case where we are already married and
Mm-hmm.
you have my energy in you and you're taking my energy to give to someone else, that's something I will not forgive. Yeah, it's total separation. Like that day it happens, It's total separation. Yeah.
Now, I want to find out now. This is a situation, right? I know the story of a young guy. This guy was struggling to make his life, and this guy, he was a hardworking young man. Along the line, he came across this lady. Good enough, they are under the category of dating. Some people do that, which is very okay. Now, they are actually getting along in the line of let me get to know you and then we make our family. This young man was planning to introduce this girl to her family and they see how they can make life together. You see, really that story of I came with the life and I met my woman and we made life together and we won together.
Yeah.
In the course of this, this guy discovered that this lady was still flirting with her ex. And as a matter of fact, one fateful day, from what the guy was saying, he came to the lady's house when they had already planned to meet with the ex. And an ex that left the lady and went and got married to someone else.
Yeah.
Now, while the ex was dating the lady, he left her, and what in the course of the dating, that is, he went and got married to somebody while they were still dating. And then they went, and then he came again and started flirting with her. When the lady in question was with a guy that the lady claimed she loved that guy so much,
Yeah.
the way the lady will profess love for that guy, anybody can be jealous. But when the guy finally came to that house that midnight around, the guy was saying he was there around 11:30 p.m. He saw the lady and the ex that is married, that they used to flirt together in the house. The married ex knows the guy knows the married ex, and the lady was the person in question. In that scenario, does that lady deserve a second chance? They were not knocking yet, but definitely they were about to knock.
They've
Does
already
that
knocked, they've already knocked in their minds and spirit. The fact that they've already knocked. Before they knock physically, it happens in their thoughts, and everything that exists is a product of someone's thought. You think
yeah.
things into creation. So before that knocking occurs, like physically, they've already knocked. Just flirting alone is knocking. You cannot be double-minded. A double-minded person is unstable in all his or her ways. So the guy in question, from the moment he discovered that the lady is flirting, he was supposed to try to put her in his control, under his control. And if he couldn't do that, he had the right to let her go. You cannot be with someone who is still in love, because that lady is obviously in love with the ex. Yeah, there's some part of him in her that she's not willing to let go. That's why I always talk about soul ties. Soul ties. Yeah, because we think marriage is that ceremony. All of those things we do in front of the church, before the civil registrar, they're all ceremonials. Yeah, but the real marriage is consolidated when a man gets into a woman. Whenever a man and woman meet sexually, there is that transmission of energies. And this transmission is known in physics as electromagnetism, where electrical energy blends with the electrical energy from the masculine energy blends with the feminine magnetic energy. And that state of electromagnetism is actually where two become one. So each time you knock and knock and knock, you're tied to that person. And whenever something good is about to happen in your life, and those, because you don't only transfer energies. Some of these energies, they are demonic in nature. So because of these soul ties, these unbroken soul ties, whenever something good is about to happen in your life, a familiar spirit will whisper in the ear of someone they want to use to destroy, and most times it will be an ex, someone you were connected to like deeply. So that's, I think that's exactly what was happening in the case of that man, of that guy and the fiance. Something good was about to happen to her life, and um, there's this familiar spirit that is determined to seeing that she doesn't receive good things. So that spirit just went straight into whosoever is connected to her. And the next person was her ex, and whispered, and he had to come to destroy that with those feelings. That's why I these days I don't go with feelings, because I mean emotions. Yeah, I go rather with leadership. I should be able to control myself. I should be able to control whosoever I'm dealing with. So in that case, if I were the guy, I will try to get the girl to talk to the girl and see if she's willing to go through the process of breaking the soul ties. If she's willing to do that, yeah, I'll give her a chance and guide her and walk her through the process. And at the end of the day, there will be that connection, and she'll be ready for me, and that will be cool. Yeah.
Wow. So you are saying that lady in question deserves a second chance.
Conditional if she's willing to break soul ties and
Because
do energy cleansing. Yeah.
this is what a lot of people go through, and you hear this person who were together and all of a sudden they are no longer together, whereas they had a good plan. Some of these kind of things happen even inside when they get married. So why am I saying this? Because there are some of the things which we should know how to actually draw boundaries.
Yeah, that's
Draw
why
boundaries.
that's why before you get married, you, especially these days where these Oyibo people, they came and introduced dating, courtship, engagement, and stuff like that. And we know throughout this process, knacking is a free thing. You get to knack and knack and knack. So before you finally get married, you must have shared your energy with a lot of people, and you
Mhm.
must have equally received, because you don't only give in the process. It's a give and take kind of thing. You get to share. It's an exchange.
Yes.
You're receiving in equal proportions. So you finally get married without breaking these soul ties. They're bound to come back. Even in marriage, you sit sometime, you forget about an ex like 5 years ago. Just be walking, you just be walking in the market, and bam, that's it. They'll just land in front of you, and you'll be completely
Everything comes back.
powerless against them. Before you know it, nothing got involved. They start by exchanging number, they come harmless, but there is always a spirit behind it, and that spirit is after your own happiness. They don't want good things in your life, they just want to destroy everything. So they'll look for whosoever is loose in your circle, like all your body counts, the people you've not with. So it's very imperative, as we return back to our roots in Africa, it's imperative for us to do cleanse and to try to break soul ties. And
Mhm.
the most
Wow, that
important,
is that is really deep. That is really deep,
yeah,
and
and the
I think
most,
yeah. Chef, you done? Sorry if I
yeah,
cut
yeah,
you. All right. Now that's really deep because at one point in time, this is you bringing out the spiritual aspect and the implications of certain things, which on a normal platter, anybody is going to be like, no, na baru manat, na do one, leave him go. But sometimes the lady in question could even be a victim of something that she cannot even control by herself. You understand? And now there is equally another question which I want to find out. this topic of discussion of communication with exes, should it be permitted? Like if you notice someone whom you intend to get married to is actually in serious communication with their ex, do you think it's a good sign, or do you think it's something that you need to let them to go back to their ex? I mean, just the communication part.
You're breaking. I can hear you clearly.
Now, what I'm asking is this: if in the course of courting you discover that the current partner you're courting with, the current person you're courting with, is actually in serious communication, still in communication with their ex, do you think definitely my ex definitely means that he's not my enemy? Do you think that's a red flag that deserves a total halt, especially if they are not willing to let go the communication? Or do you think it's something that you can focus on building your family while they maintain their communication? After all, they are not dating, they are just communicating. It could even be a colleague.
Well, my days as a bad guy, I just need to keep communication with any woman. I know what it means to be a bad boy. Yeah, because I've been down that lane. I just need to keep communication with any woman. You can resist for 1 week, you can resist for 1 month. Then I go the harmless way, like okay, there's nothing I want at the end of the day. I will still get in between that muscle. Yeah, I'll get in between that.
Yeah, because
So
I saw somebody
it's
like
it's a
I had
total no. When you're
okay.
done with him, you delete his number before you can continue with me. Yeah, because yeah, it's
Now
totally
I
no,
see,
no,
I
no,
see,
no. For
I
for
see.
for no reason. For no reason. Yes.
Yeah, I see. Ada, you're very much welcome. He says, no, avoid this X story. Now, this is because at this point, this is where a lot of people, especially women, fall for. I had this friend of mine, she had this girl whom they were together. By the time they separated, the girl was to get married. Do you even know that 2 days to her wedding, the girl started calling him that if she does not see him, she's not going to get married to the guy. I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
are you
I,
serious?
I
And she was
thought I
like,
thought
if I don't see you,
these stories only happen in Nollywood movies.
no, this is real life. Like, I know the people. The person usually comes here and I know the people. You see, I know the lady in question. I know the thing. More of the thing I say is real life. So, like, if you don't talk to me, just know that I am going to cancel everything. I was like, what? And the guy had to talk with her and say, no, it's like this, just continue your life. You're a lady, you're ready to get married, me, I'm not, and all of stuff like that. And that's how she went. But deep within me, knowing the two people, I understood that this lady in question is getting married to this man because this man is a ready man and she's scared that her time might be advancing. Sincerely speaking, if that my friend wants to have this lady at any day, anytime, any hour,
Yeah, the factor is the man, bro. It's not the woman in this case. It's the
it means
man.
the
Yeah,
man getting married is not happy.
if the man decides, if he decides to knock, he will knock. So it's about him to be principled, to know, to let the
Not to
girl
destroy
go,
the lady.
to free that lady, and instead be at that position to helping her with good advice. Yes, let her stay with her man. Yes.
Now, all right, I'm seeing a comment here. This comment is very technical. I say, though there are cases, this other, I said, though there are cases where you have to communicate. If you have kids together, or if you work together, but there's no reason to communicate, please. But if there is no reason to communicate, please avoid dealing with baby mama. Chef, can you get married to a baby mama?
A very good question. A very good question. Before
Yeah.
now, if you ask this question like a month ago, I'll probably say no. Right now, I will definitely, yeah.
Now, don't you think that the baby daddy can definitely see come and have his thing his way? Don't you think so?
If It depends. It depends too on the baby mama. So it's not any kind of baby mama you sitting down with, right? You need to do your due diligence. You need to make sure she's not after the man, she's there without knocking for some time, and you need to know her principles. Well, you need to look at it and try to know her from a deeper perspective, a deeper point of view. It's not every baby mama out there, because the same thing we said before will also
Mhm.
apply to baby mama, especially those the ones who that they keep communication with the baby daddies. Yeah,
Mhm.
from communication, if that man is not a principal man, if he's not that kind of man who fully walk out of the relationship with all his heart, he will still want to knock. And like they say, once knock can always be knocked. Yeah,
Yes.
that's a common aphorism from the streets, but
Which
it's
actually
true.
happens. Which actually
Yeah,
happens a lot of the
yeah,
time. Now,
and that aphorism is actually true. So I think the power in this case is always in the hand of the man. So if he's a good man who knows what he wants, like taking care of his kids and stuff, keeping communication about his kids, he sets his boundaries and stuff, and
mm,
and he's cool about us being friends. We can even be friends because the
mhm,
fact that he act before doesn't mean other people cannot continue knocking. So we can knock, but he should remove his eyes and let that girl enjoy her life with her newfound love. The fact
oh,
that trusted, she trusted him, she trusted him, and at the end of the day, things didn't work out, and they have a product. They have a product. They have a seed out of the relationship. Doesn't mean she doesn't deserve to be in the arms of someone who appreciates her truly. So you, this great guy, that it didn't work out because of one or two reasons, and it didn't work out. And anytime you see her, you're only thinking about that knocking part. Maybe the knocking was too kind of that kind of way it penetrate your membrane, and
yeah.
you're only thinking about that whenever you see her. You need to be able to control yourself. Yes.
Mhm. Good. Now, Chef, we have been saying a lot, like a lot of about ladies. I want us to focus a little bit on the men. I,
Yes.
I love the way you tackle some topics, bringing in the logical and the spiritual part of it.
Yeah.
What do you think are the considerations that men should take a look into before actually thinking of getting into marriage? What is that? What are those things do you think a man needs to fulfill before getting into marriage? What are the things he needs to consider? What are the points he needs to pay close attention to before
Okay.
going?
In this era, the Gen Z era, as a man, you should be able to take care of yourself first.
Mhm.
You should learn your basic survivor skills. You should be able
Yeah.
to cook your own food. You should be able to cook your own food. You should be able to clean your own space. You should be able
Mhm.
to arrange yourself and organize yourself. Those
Mhm.
basic things, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not just getting married because you need a woman to come and be a house help, to be
Mhm.
cleaning. You need to know that, right? You need to be ready. Just the same way you need a wife, you have to prepare yourself to be a husband because you're going for a wife. And a wife is actually the distinction between women. We have women, and everyone, everything, um, um, everyone out there can wear a skirt, gowns and stuff like that, put wigs, and will call them women. But to actually call someone wife, she has to go through a process to becoming a wife. That's why you have to find her. She's not easily out there available as woman, because woman is something you just walk out the street, you find women. They're everywhere. But for you to find a wife, to you need to dig deep, and when you find her, you
Search.
find a good thing. So the same way, I don't know if you're getting me.
I can get you 5 on 5. Very
Yeah.
well.
So the same way you need a wife, you need to work on yourself to become a husband. You need to work on yourself. You need to make that distinction from a man to a husband.
Okay,
And
chef. Chef,
is
please,
this
before you
yeah?
proceed, let me shoot this quickly. We are talking about husband. What qualifies a man as a husband?
What qualifies a man as a husband? We go by the prescription given by our father. You need to be a protector. It means you need to be able to protect that woman. You need to be able to love her with your life, like you're willing to die for her, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you need to be able to provide for her, and you
Mm-hmm.
need to be able to secure her. That's you
Mm-hmm.
being a husband.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be in that category. And now your personal growth and development to get into
Mm-hmm.
that stage. Those are qualities you need. But getting there, that's why I was listing those things before. Like you need, I'm
Okay.
talking about these days. Like we've been told women have been emancipated, and a woman's place is not in the kitchen. So you
Yeah.
you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared for anything before getting into that union. If she is that woman who will be out there working, you should be able to feed yourself because you need to survive. And if she fight, if see, let me tell you one thing. This over fighting where you will see people have it like you come home, he never cook and stuff.
Well,
Then
cool.
you start no. If you cook even better than her, I'll tell you, bro, it's a big challenge. You'll not even tell her anything. She'll struggle to learn more, especially when they are kids. And those kids, they begin to tell her, Mama, we don't want to eat your food. That it can cook more than you. He can cook more than you. Or you'll be a big blow to her. You'll be fighting her without even punching. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So these days, yeah, these days is wrong for you to say a woman's place is in the kitchen. So you need to develop those basic survivor skills yourself. You need to be able to speak to yourself. You need to be able to clean your space. All of
Mm-hmm.
this, like the days she cannot do them, you do them with, you show her you can do them passionately, with passion, right? You
Mm-hmm.
that's it. Instead of shouting, you waste your energy shouting. And some of these things, when I do them, that's the highest time I meditate. I get into like cooking for me, right? It's a meditative kind of thing. When I'm cooking like that, I get in a different range. I start to think creatively. I feel like food is talking to me. And sometimes when I wake up in the morning and I pick my broom, I'm sweeping. It's actually a meditative process for me. So I
Activity,
don't
yeah.
need I don't need a woman to come and do cleaning for me, to do
But but
cooking.
but 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 but, but chef, at one point the way you cook and your wife needs to be sincerely. They say women men that cook sincerely. The way you cook, the woman they need to actually really be very watchful. Sincerely speaking, because they say
Uh,
men that cook, woman you get to start fine. On a
uh,
serious note.
the most important thing is especially that's in the past. I never used to like to show them that I know how to cook. You cook
Mm-hmm.
and cook and cook, but just the day you make like you want just high small. Say no, I don't need cook. I don't need cook for you. I don't be, hey, I just make you something. I say, let me just show you some different kind of level how things can be done from the spiritual fair, the spiritual horizon. Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
said you stand like that. I said, wow. So a
Let
man
me, let,
became a woman. Maybe a woman must work on herself to become a wife.
yeah.
You yourself, you must know that the difference between a man and a husband, and between a husband and a father. You need to know all of those, and you know you have to be a husband to your wife. In my case, I'm not a husband. I'm a king, and I know exactly what I need to be as a king for my queens. Yes, I
Mm-hmm.
know
Now,
exactly the role I need to play in their lives as a queen.
the chef, are you single?
Hey,
All right, let me take this comment. This comment from Adana, he says they must protect. That's actually just responding to a question like what qualifies a man to be a husband. They must protect their lady from in-laws. I've heard a lot of ladies even before they get married. You see, that's why sometimes when people are saying married, it's true. Marriage is some sort of guarantee, but I feel like the bond you have is even bigger than nothing you sign. Because I've heard a lot of ladies, even before they get married, talking about this interference of in-laws. This one say they must protect their in-laws. Each person knows their family members. Don't pretend it will get better, or don't pretend it will get better, or that your family members will change. People rarely change. So, and then it comes further to say, reveal everything that needs to be revealed: health status, sexual drive, views on religion, money, kids, and number of kids, retirement plan, traveling, sickness in the bloodline. Oh, I think this one is sweet. Some certain things that are not always spoken of. You see, as young people, sometimes we get carried away with the over lovey thing that
it's not lovey.
basic.
It's not lovey. As you meet a girl you're dating, let's be upfront. Let's be straightforward.
Yeah,
Yes.
hit it
In
hard.
those
Yeah.
dating days, you're taking a girl out on a date. What are you thinking? What is in your head? You're thinking of ways to get into her pants. You're thinking of ways to you think not just way for promote her dress.
So the
How to
constantly inspire, they enjoy free beings. All right, let me take you one from Mervin's Goom. Oh, Mervin's Goom, communicator extraordinaire, the lady with the golden voice. Glad to have you. She says, what qualifies a man as a husband is dependent on what the woman dating wants. So it's all about compatibility. So women love to be in the kitchen, though not everyone. Okay, you see. And now she comes again to say, I think there is a lot of pressure on women, though, a lot of requirements. It almost feels like getting disqualified for marriage as a woman is a GC examination. Now, I have also had this a lot, and the gospel truth is, I met there was some time, I think sometime around 2018 or 19 like that, before COVID. I was in Douala with a friend of mine, and I met a lady. This lady is a public person. No, that time she was young. She was quite small. She was just 25 years. And the pressure she had to get married. Like, I was like, Mami, nah. You see? Because the truth is, a friend of mine brought her into the picture because she was trying to connect us. You see? But the truth is, when we're discussing and we're just free and relaxed, I understood, and all of us understood, that the pressure she had to get married. And it is a very common thing with a lot of ladies. It be like when they just enter that 25 or 27, their brain is start reset. The worst is when they start getting to the third floor. It looks like my own door started finish, I finish up. You understand? So a lot of these pressures that I think Melvin's going to evoke is part of the insecurities that a lot of women go through. But to me, I think in as much as you breathe and you have good qualities, you definitely have a man. Because there are people that can get married to people that are women that are older than them. There's some that you definitely meet somebody that is more mature and ready for you at the time you're supposed to meet them. I think sometimes the problem is just us creating barriers. for
No,
ourselves.
but it doesn't work like that these days now. You're not seeing all these Nigerian men who go about destroying African ladies. What are their requirements? They require nyash. They require front. They use
Headlamp.
money. Now these girls they go for Brazilian butt lifting,
Yeah,
BBL.
that's
So
one
you
thing that, oh,
get
it's
to
horrible.
see people
You work
don't
with
look
silicone
again.
you.
A lot of people don't even want to take that time to look at characters. They don't want to look at all of those things. They just want to when they see Nyash, it's okay. As he get dressed, it's okay. Beautiful face with human hair. Yeah, the door we fall in love. Love at first sight. I don't know who invented who created, I don't know who created that virus.
They
That
love that
virus
you just see and fall in love without knowing.
that virus they call love at first sight. Hi.
Yeah. Now, chef, see, somebody asked me a question, but the time this flyer was posted, I was talking with someone and it was like he has a problem, and the truth is he was making his life with he was struggling to make a life with a lady, and this lady in question, an opportunity surfaced where she had to travel,
Mhm.
and she actually left the guy, went to follow the opportunity, and she had to travel but with her ex-boyfriend there. So she left the guy. It's true now. He told me that they were not dating. They were not actually dating as per when they were speaking. So the girl had a relationship. She came and then it never worked out. They came back together with the guy that was telling me the story. And then the ex girl, the girl and her ex-boyfriend had done a project, and there was an opportunity for them to travel using that project. Now
Mhm.
it got to a certain point where the guy was like, I'm not comfortable with you and your ex-boyfriend in that project. Can you kindly adjust the thing, let it sink? When I go travel, so when I go doing a praise and worship, when I doing a half of that place, I go, it doesn't sink. And the lady was like, no, that for me, this family was trying to be that for me to sacrifice my project for this family, I better choose my project. Now, this lady went, and then the project did not work out. And the ex in question was actually after wanted to take advantage of her to extort some money. And
Mhm.
finally, the girl came back, and the guy was like, Grand, we fed this so with the struggle no alive. And she and when she went, he noticed that she actually took in for him. So she's carrying his child.
Took
So
in
for the
for
10
the
kids.
ex.
No, no, not for the ex, for the guy that for the guy in question. The ex, they separated with the ex, and she has not had anything to do with her for some time. So when she's looking at the
When they
rate,
went when they went for the project, they did not do anything.
no, not do anything. When they went, the ex is in a different town, and the lady is in a different town. So they did not even get to meet. The communication was communication until project spoil. Now I go take the pico to the belle. My way of attempt for leave me run. I go take it. Or my just leave me just go. I concentrate my life. In this situation, I was like, but chef, this guy, what advice can you give to him?
What advice can I give to the guy? Well, the first thing, the girl did not trust in his leadership. She didn't trust his leadership. Yeah, that's number one. And number two, she picked career. I would like to use career, yeah,
Yeah,
over
that's the
him.
right word.
Yeah, that's number two. And
Mm-hmm.
now the third factor that we need to consider also is the third party that is in play, which is the baby. So now, given these two things,
Mm-hmm.
you don't trust my leadership. Yeah,
Yeah.
and, it will be hard. That one will be hard for me to really put you in that spotlight for you to understand things and follow my
Mm,
lead. it will be hard. So that's already a red flag. And now I'm actually a second choice because you already you threw the relationship overboard and you said you're going for your career, you're going for your project, and now the project didn't work out, and now you remember of a second option, and I wouldn't want to be second option. I don't want to be your fallback, your where you want to fall back, or your rebound, where you want to fall back when other options
I'm
didn't
not
work.
there.
Yes, I wouldn't want to be in that position. So, given the third factor, which is the baby, I'll offer to try to set you up by building your mind and making sure you're okay to be able to take care of yourself and to take care of our baby. And I'll always be a fatherly figure to the baby. But given the fact that you don't trust in my leadership and you're putting me in the position of a second option, I would definitely not want to work with that kind of a person. Yeah,
Now,
the kind of women I roll with, the kind of women I roll with are those that trust my words. They should be able to trust my word. They should be able to trust my leadership. That I'll provide better opportunities for them than what the ex or whosoever out there is offering. They should be able to trust that. It might not be at that particular time, but if I say no, they should understand there's a reason behind the no. And if you go overboard, you know there is no coming back when the sharks they start coming for your blood, for your flesh.
yeah,
They're coming back.
because the guy be like, this girl, I know her. She's reserved and she's willing to abandon the career for my sake. She's willing to do everything for my sake. She is promising and promising and promising. And I'm like, if the promise you say, if the project be working for the promise you, if the promise you, say if the thing were there, definitely maybe if the check say you go start a new life with it, it's simple to move X to next. Very simple. You just take 5 seconds of cry and I mean sometimes you don't even cry self. They just look at self and understand and pure. You understand? So that the word, just the word of disappointment, and then he's taking into consideration the child that is coming in.
A lot of
That's
honey
why
men out there who are readily, there are a lot of honey men out there who are readily available. So it makes it easier for ladies to just skip from one relationship to another. The moment this one is not working, they will not even try to stay to fix it. They just jump to the next because a lot of honey men they out there.
Yeah.
So
No, that was that's quite sharp and that's quite smart. Now, we have been speaking for about 2 hours. Chef, I want you to shoot one final word first to the ladies on things to consider before they say I do, and the last one to the guys on things
try
to
to
consider.
listen, you know what is that?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You're breaking.
All right, yeah. I was saying I want you to shoot some last words to the ladies and to the guys, crowning up what we have discussed today and some key aspects of what they should consider before thinking of getting into this union of man and woman.
Yeah, before you say yes to anything, you should know. You should actually know. No is actually the most important word. You should first of all learn how to say no before it's an affirmation. It opens door for things to start happening. But no gives you the opportunity to study and to getting to know yourself more better. So what I'm talking in essence is you should be reserved, especially the ladies. I don't want to use ladies. You're all out there and not ladies. You are all queens. You're all queens. Yeah, you're not ladies. You should take back your
We go
crown.
say, I believe you.
There should be some sort of reservation. Back then, it used to be interesting. It used to be interesting. You before you get a girl's number, like you go back home, you sleep and you're dreaming about her, and sometimes we used to cry even back in those days. But
True.
everything became so normal. Everything became so normal, and women became sexified. They became objects, and the best adjective.
Mm-hmm. Wow, the network was quite interesting.
So this thing, whole thing, must start with the way you dress. You dress the way you want to be addressed.
Address, yeah.
Yeah. If I go these days, I do whatever I'm doing with Auntie Felicia and Dr. Snow Bobby is because of the way they dress, the way I see
Uh-huh.
them, and that's exactly the way I get to address them. So as women, it all goes back to the way you dress and carry yourself, and the way you dress, you attract the kind of men or the kind of man that you actually want. You cannot be saying you want a king. You cannot be saying you want a king, and you are dressing like a slave queen. You don't have to dress like a slave queen. You have to dress like a real African queen to attract an African king. When you dress like a slave queen, you attract what they call. I'll use the word Tuma boys. I don't want to use the F word, so I'll just use Tuma boys. Yeah, I know which one to talk about for the.
Mm-hmm.
So you attract
Yeah,
Tuma
yeah,
boys,
yeah.
and when Tuma boys come around you, the only adjective they have for you is sexy. You're sexy. You're sexy. And they even tell you you're beautiful when you're colorful. They look at you all around na colors. Your hair na blonde. Your eye, you don't put eye contact lenses na blue. You don't add black long eyelashes
Mm-hmm.
and all of those things, the nails and those wide red lips. At the end of the day, when they tell you you're beautiful, it's just a means to get in between your Nzolo. They just want to get into your Nzolo. You're not beautiful, you're
Spider
colorful.
beans.
You're colorful. Anything that is beautiful is natural.
Yeah.
Beautiful things are natural. And
I like the way you put it.
when you start making up, you make up for what you don't have. You can only make up for what you don't have. People who have it naturally, they don't have to make up. So when you make up, you become colorful. You become colorful. So you
Mm-hmm.
start from there. You learn how to grow your hair because these days, real African queens, African kings, they'll go about judging women from their crowns. And what you have as your crown of glory is actually your natural hair. Your natural
Yeah.
hair is your crown of glory. You need to grow it. You need to take care of it. You need to guard it like gold. It's actually priceless. It's priceless. Then now you go down to the way you dress. The way you dress is the way I'm going to address you. Yes. And if you want respect, you dress to get respect. And now when you get to that level, you have to be reserved. You have to be reserved as a queen. Yes, it's good to be friendly, but you know your weakness. You know where you end. Even if had someone like me to talk to her and tell her of her weakness and limitation, white man or snake never ever convince her from Garden of Eden to chop the forbidden fruit. Woman, it only take a consistent and persistent man to convince you. No matter how hard you think, say you can be strong. Bring even Shanta Biafra from. Let's keep communication for 6 months continuously. At the end of the day, I'll break or break through her
All
guard
the
and
faith. Yeah.
very easily. The moment she don't see the soft
You become
spot of
vulnerable.
things, and then she become weak. And that know your limitation. You have to be reserved. You have to be cautious. You have to be principled. Maybe any kind Tom, Dick, and Harry, any honey boy out there who will just come take you, put your
Yeah.
back for ground, put your back for ground anyhow. Reserve yourself, keep your virginity. For those of you who are still virgin watching me and under the unction of my voice right now, keep your virginity. And for those of you who already started knocking, don't increase your body count. Don't increase your body count. Body count is actually the number of men you knock throughout your knocking, the course of your knocking life span, how many men you get to knock. So you need to you need to keep that at the minima. You need to be down there. One is enough. One is enough. So before you even open your Zolo, meet the first man enter. Make sure he's that man. And us men, we can pretend for 2 years. We can follow you to church. We can follow you to choir. Go sit down. So you come, you tell me, say no. Hey, you need to show me so you are born again. You need to show me you're a brother in the Lord. Yes. Hey, max up and follow. Hey, you don't follow my enter church. We don't do all of you follow, so you enter church. At the end of the day, it can once that gap don't be loose, it don't be for down. It just not see you like a brother in Christ. Before you know it, one touch to another, it start lift me, lift me, lift
And
me.
they didn't ever know, but you don't know that
Yeah.
they rock up their pants.
Before you maintain, as you maintain, before you want to know it, you don't enter the middle. So it's about reservation. Know the antics and all the tactics or way we men we use. Protect yourself. Protect yourself because white man don't really broke the natural protection we be get. You know if you respect your power again. Once you don't really reach the knocking age, you are supposed to be under two authorities. The authority of your father when before you get to knocking age. Yes, your father is that first authority. And when you get for knocking age, the next authority should be your husband. That's the only one who should be able to control you. So that natural protection don't be broken. So you did out there now on your own. And any man out there can talk to you in the work front. You meet your boss, you get the challenge with bosses who want to knock you at every direction. As any man is you, the first thing they check.
Isn't
If that
anything
man is principle, they check now for knock you. So have that at the back of your mind. Then you set your boundaries. Be a reserved woman and you walk yourself. You go to is it Proverbs? Is it Proverbs 20? Is it the Proverbs woman? You read that
the virtuous woman.
the virtuous woman of not this virtuous woman of Dorcas, no Bobby and Carol and
The virtuous man or woman.
Yes. So cultivate yourself, keep yourself. Is that easy to being a wife? And when you know you're a wife, that's when you can even get into that contract of marriage. Don't just be a slave. Then you see somebody's son because he's rich and you say you want to get married. No, better remain for your straight. Be declare, be very intentional about your hustle. Wife is a different office altogether. If you're a slave queen, remain in your office. Your office is to knock for money from one guest house to another. Remain in that office. Yes, that's what you were groomed for. That's what you were trained for. That's who you are. Remain in that office. Don't venture into that office of a wife. It's a whole different ball game altogether. If you are a career woman and you're rich, what you should be going for gigolos. You should be going for gigolos. That's your office. That's what you need. You don't need a husband. You don't need a husband. Because why you don't need a husband? You did not train yourself to be a wife. You are actually a career person. It's a good thing. We need a balance in society. We need some people to be wives. We need some people to be career women. We need some people to be slave queens. Because if they are not slave queens, we'll not have all these comparisons to know this one is bad and this one is good. So we actually have to have evil to know the importance of good. So slave queens, career women, everyone out there, whichever direction you choose for yourself, maintain in that direction. Maintain in that direction. As a slave queen, maintain. Know all the guest houses in Douala, know all the guest houses in Buea and other places. Before a customer is calling, and you should be the one to tell them of the latest and the best guest house in town. Yes. But don't venture into the office of a wife. After you must have dug a borehole in between your legs. Now you want to get into that a different kind of office. Stay put in your office. So for those who intentionally they go through their parents' grooming and they are working towards being wives. Yes, those are the women out there who need husband. And now let me talk to the men. You as a honey man, you should go for your counterpart, which are the slave queens. You should go for them. If you are a gigolo out there, you should look for older women with career and money, and you go for them. Leave the innocent queens alone. Don't go, because majority of women become a product of the men who disvirgin them. They become the like before she became a slave queen, she was once a virgin. Now it took a man to disvirgin her. And imagine that experience, something you've kept all your life, then now you're meeting someone who did not even value your hymen. You're meeting some careless guy who just knock and take you like just another borehole out there. Take you to be just another borehole out there. All of those pain, all of that will force that lady to develop this animosity against men. And now the way they always reason this way. I will start like this is how they reason, they decide, like at that point. I will start treating men badly. I'll start working against men. I'll become this and that. At the end of the day, yes, she will start playing men. But in the course of playing men, she doesn't know she's transforming herself into a different thing altogether. She will play one or two men, but there will be that third guy who do something and get in between, get inside. There will be that guy, that physical guy who will still get inside. And throughout the course of you trying to harm men because of that first man, it's always about that first man. So this warning is going to, let me not say it's warning, let me say this message to men out there. Always, if you're horny, just leave these innocent queens alone. Go for the slave queens, go for the boreholes, go for them. They're out there, a lot of them. Go and satisfy your sexual urge and stuff like that. Leave them alone. Then the men who are actually walking out there to be husbands, you go by the creator's prescription. You have to be a protector, you have to be a provider, you have to be her security, you have to be everything so that she can lean on. And when you truly find her, you'll be finding nothing but blessing, and you obtain favor from the Father. Know the distinction. Not everything out there in skirt is a woman. and not every woman is a wife. If everything out there in skirt were to be a woman, even Dorcas, nobody, Bobby, and Auntie Felicia would be women. So that's the distinction. And now, not every woman is a wife. So know the difference, and now you look for a wife. And before looking for a wife, you make sure you must work on yourself to becoming a husband as well. We always talk of wife material, but husband material too is very much needed. You have to
Special.
be a husband before you get a wife. So
Wow.
take your crown to Bantu kings. Take your crowns. You deserve many queens, but before you get the many queens, you have to be a king. You have to be a king.
Awesome.
Take your crown.
Wow, Chef, that's really beautiful. At this point in time, I must say it was a very beautiful show tackling through this topic is
No,
quite
no,
big.
no, no, no. Hey. Udwango na a Rominati t-shirt this and cap.
Oh yeah.
We coming and giving you people knowledge, free knowledge every Sunday. Una gather, buy the t-shirt, and not
Yeah.
only t-shirt, a Rominati is already in the market. You see, like on this t-shirt, we have we said 5K to 20K, but
Yeah.
due to popular demand from a lot of clients, they said they actually proposed for us to start from 2.5. So
Yeah.
we'll be creating another branding for 2.5. So guys,
Now, Chef,
support the
I
chef
want to
dog.
find out. I want to find out. Those people who are watching who are not in Douala, they could order, right? Is there a possibility for someone to order for them to get this beautiful? Sincerely, I must say, the food is. I don't want to use nice. I don't want to use delicious, but I want to use something above that because I have tasted, and
Yeah.
sincerely, anybody who have been there, better chop na the tongue na we chop I didn't know. So, and even apart from that, there are other stuffs that we are going to publish, like the Dewalizer and a lot of it. So,
Yeah.
it says it is a possibility to deliver to other
Yeah,
parts of the world.
it's delivery, not delivery, bro. It's
Confirm.
delivery.
All right. So we are going to share the links and share every detail again on the page, on this page, and
Yeah.
all our platforms. So those of you watching, do your best to order. I mean, it's something. It's you have a different dimension of Illuminati. Yeah, the name Illuminati.
Yeah,
Taste for
so
it.
the 20K bowl, the 20K
Yeah.
bowl, about 10 people can eat it there. About
Wow.
10 people can eat it. So you can just sit in your office. You just, okay, I
Yeah.
want to treat my workers. And
The
we
staff,
can even send to Yaoundé. So people in Yaoundé can
Alright.
order as well. We just finished to cook, we package everything, start look for
Deliver.
the way to go, we just send them to go. So more and more distance is not a barrier. I will make
Wow,
sure
this is
your Illuminati gets to you in perfect condition.
now, Chef. Please, before I go out, this Illuminati, what is it comprised of? What is it? What do we have inside? Because the way when I picture it,
Yeah, Illuminati is a branded arrow. So
Yeah.
the idea behind it, I've opened a lot of restaurants, and
Yeah.
I've always had problems with workers because I can't stay in the restaurants to be working myself. So this time around, when I decided to put everything together, I don't want to employ people anymore. I want to work with partners. So
Yeah.
I want to be putting branded products out there.
Yeah.
Like you can have pizza. Pizza is a branded food product from Italy. So
Yeah.
we can do the same things with our local Cameroonian dish. I think it's actually the first of its kind here in Cameroon, where we are taking
Yeah.
a particular food and we're doing this kind of massive branding. So when we had to put the name together, the name is coming from Aero. We know Aero, the normal Aero that they cook, right? The normal
Yeah.
Aero. So we had to put another word together. So the next word that came to mind was dominating. Dominating. So aero dominating did not sound right. It didn't sound right. So I had to do word play. Immediately, I removed the ZO in front of dominating. Then I removed the NG at the end of dominating, and we have Minati. So now Aerominati actually is that evergreen arrow that dominates. The
Wow.
evergreen arrow dominates. So with
Oh,
Aerominati, the first composition is that dominating energy that
yeah.
we are activating with the arrow that we want people who eat, because you're actually what you eat. You're actually what you eat. So we cook this arrow with love, passion, and a lot of meditation. Like, you should be able to, when you eat Aerominati, you should be able to dominate in every fair that you find yourself, because that's the kind of energy we are giving you from Aerominati. And now we know with meat, when you get to eat a lot of meat, at the end of the day, due to a lot of amino acids, you
Yeah.
have you have health problems. So
Yeah.
we also thought about your health, and that's why we replaced meat with snails. We're
Oh,
putting more of snails in Aerominati, like the big table size snails, and you'll be having more of towel and intestine. You have kanda, you have your dry fish, you have your stock fish in it in
yeah.
Aerominati. So
Wow.
that's exactly what you'll be getting, a different kind of flavor, because with Aerominati, we don't use salt. We don't use even a pinch of salt in cooking Aerominati. But at the end of the day, the kind of taste that you get from it is second to none. It's second to no other
Yeah, I
arrow is
think,
tasted
yeah.
out there. So
Wow.
Aerominati, the evergreen arrow that dominates.
Wow. Chef, this is really, really innovative and is very interesting at the same time. The concept on its own is one that stands out, and I think, please, all of us watching, let us do some Illuminati. And from today, start making up your mind. So we get to be part of
Yeah.
this. And it was really a wonderful time, Chef. I must
We,
say,
yeah,
yeah.
it's just like when they're creating hamburger, like the people behind it, they intentionally meditated, like they want something to cause health havoc in the life
That's
of the
right.
eaters. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we are actually doing the opposite. We are doing the opposite. So the meditation is for you to have that dominating energy, to dominate in whatever you find yourself doing, to dominate and to also be healthy. And when you eat the escargot, you eat the snails or the
Yeah.
nyamangoro or the Congo meat, it gets to reduce cholesterol in your system, and you
Wow.
experience a balance of energy.
Wow. That's superb. That's superb. That's superb. Wow, Chef, I must say it was wonderful, and everything about today's show from start to this point was just so on point. And spicing everything with
Yeah.
Illuminati, I must say we all need to have a taste of Illuminati, and it's a necessity for our system.
No,
All
it,
right,
it, it is. It is. It is. Yeah.
all right, beautiful people. See you all again next week, and stay glued to more updates on our platform. Anything you need to know, we are definitely going to keep you posted. And everything about Illuminati, you'll be posted. Everything about what we do will definitely be posted. So stay right there and stay glued for more updates on our platform.
Bye. 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 Much
Arugula, and
love.
see you guys, and see you guys,
Until
and
next
see you
time,
on
it's been your
Sunday.
boy, Chef
Now, good night to our beautiful queen.
Joey. Hey.